Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hi everyone, host Damian Anderson from Future Educators Talk. If you have a question, concerns about Future Educators Talk, stories to share, feedback to make Future Educators Talk better, reactions to the topics the co-hosts discuss, jokes to tell, or someone you would like for the co-host to interview, please send them in to the co-hosts by direct messaging them on Instagram at Future Educators Talk, emailing them at futureeducatorstalk@gmail.com, or sending in a voice message at anchor.fm/futureedtalk and click on the message tab to where you can record your questions into them. Thanks for supporting Future Educators Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the pre-season special edition episodes of Future Educators Talk. I am Damian Anderson, and Frett is not here with me, but it is okay. I can do it solo for this episode right here. So, on today, you guys, we have another topic that's it's you guys. This let me just tell you guys what's the topic that I will be discussing here. Which is your president, Trump. He says that he will pressure states, he will pressure governors to reopen schools and colleges back in the fall. Now, is that something or what? He's supposed to be the leader here, and he wants children to go back to school as soon as possible. Like, he needs them back into school and teachers now, when all this mess is going on. You guys, you don't understand. You don't understand here. So let me just hop right into this. I'm going to be showing you guys two videos of explaining all of this, and then once I finish showing these videos to you guys, I will explain my thoughts on this. So let me get it pulled up for you guys here.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy says schools will reopen in some capacity in the fall. Each district is expected to develop their own COVID-aware school plan, but will it include making kids and teachers wear masks if they can't practice social distancing? Maybe. They're still working it out. But President Trump is still urging schools to reopen, even calling those who may want some to stay closed. He's accusing them of playing politics. This morning, all eyes on Dr. Anthony Fauci and the question of whether schools should reopen this fall. Fauci saying if infection rates are low enough, they should reopen by following safety measures.
You've got to follow the guidelines depending upon the level and the penetrance of infection in the community.
Despite pressure from President Trump, it's ultimately up to states and local jurisdictions to decide when and how to reopen schools. In New York, where COVID-19 infections have slowed, Governor Andrew Cuomo says there's been no decision made yet.
We're not going to say children should go back to school until we know it's safe.
In Florida, where there were more than 7,000 new COVID cases reported just yesterday, the state issuing an emergency order requiring all schools to open in August, at least 5 days per week for all students. Wendy Seth from St. Augustine, Florida, doesn't agree with the decision. She's enrolling her 3 kids in online school for the fall.
For me, that's not acceptable, because if you are actually saying, okay, let's go back and then let's see who gets COVID. Is it going to be one child? Is it going to be 100 children? Is it going to be thousands of children because all of Florida's opening up?
Adam Roth is a teacher in New Jersey. He says he's eager to get back into the classroom, but student safety comes first.
We are certainly teaching and we are guiding them doing it virtually, but we know that we can have that much greater of an impact on our student population if we are with them, but just in a safe environment.
After hearing the president's push to reopen schools, 6 groups that represent parents and teachers, they released a statement saying to safely reopen schools, health experts should be relied on to figure out the when, and that parents and teachers should be central in figuring out the how. They say, not the president. George.
So it's, you guys, it is something. It is something. Woo. I hope y'all process all of that in right there, this video. Here's the question again. Is it safe to reopen schools? Is it? Yes or no? I would like to hear your comments. Teachers, educators, parents, even students. I would like to hear y'all guys' comments. Is it safe to reopen schools right now? Because they're about to open back up a few weeks, even a few days. So this is just, you guys, a lot to process in here, a lot to process in. And I would like to read you guys some messages, some comments under this video here of what people have to say here. So here's one right here. I understand the effect return to school can have on the economy, but we still don't know how exposure to this virus could impact kids, the kids' development. On the long run, we have the technology to continue with online classes. Is it worth it to expose kids and families unnecessarily? Somebody else commented, short answer, no, to that question right there. You have a lot of these. Another, as he should, we do not pay taxes for our kids to be taught at home. If they do not open, then there should be no school taxes until they do open. Another one here. He's pushing with no regard for the other millions of real parents with legitimate concerns for our children. Who is he sending back to school? States should be left alone to make the best decisions based on their stats. Quick reopening in some states was a disaster. So, you guys, this is, again, so much here. So much here. Now, I have another video to show you guys here. President Trump says he will pressure governors to reopen schools in the fall. And here's what he had to say along with his wife, the First Lady, Melania Trump. So listen what they have to say about this.
So what we want to do is we want to get our schools open. We want to get them open quickly, beautifully in the fall. And as you know, this is a disease. It's a horrible disease, but young people do extraordinarily well. And we hope that most schools are going to be open. We don't want people to make political statements or do it for political reasons. I think it's going to be good for them politically, so they keep the schools closed. No way. So we're very much going to put pressure on governors and everybody else to open the schools, to get them open. And it's very important. It's very important for our country. It's very important for the well-being of the student and the parents. So we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on open your schools in the fall.
The first pillar of my Be Best initiative is children well-being and taking care of children's social, emotional, and physical health has never been more important than during the COVID-19 pandemic. The administration has worked around the clock to protect Americans from the coronavirus, but many challenges for children and families can be just as invisible as the virus and just as dangerous. When children are out of school, they are missing more than just time in the classroom. They're missing the laughter of their friends, learning from their teachers, and the joy of recess and play. For children with disabilities, without access to technology, or whose homes are not a safe place, the situation can be even worse. As the start of the school year gets closer, I encourage parents, teachers, and school to teach children about the importance of CDC guidelines and to implement them when appropriate.
There you have it right there. Again, still a lot to process, am I right? It's I just don't I don't functionally understand the impact of this. I don't. It's just too much to handle. It really is. It's a lot. So let me give y'all share my thoughts, give y'all more information on this. So President Trump, you guys, on Tuesday, this was on July the 7th, 2020, he ramped up his calls for schools to reopen in the fall, saying he is very much going to put pressure on governors in everyone, states, to reopen schools back up, you guys, to return to full-time in-school instruction. He says that it's very important for the well-being of the student and the parents. So we're going to be putting a lot of pressure on open your schools back up in the fall. He continues on saying at round table discussion with educators and students at the White House, his message coming as more than 24 states continue to grapple with increasing COVID-19 cases. Now, Governor Andrew Cuomo has struck a more measured tone than Trump about reopening plans, telling reporters at a Monday news briefing that the state has some time to evaluate data and review plans requested from the state's 700 school districts before making a decision on what the upcoming school year will potentially look like. So Andrew Cuomo, Governor Cuomo says there has been no decision yet as to whether or not we are reopening schools back up. He said this days after New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio unveiled preliminary plans to reopen schools in September. Now, Cuomo administration officials have said the authority to reopen schools rests with the state. Now, Cuomo said the state obviously very much will like to reopen schools, noting that no one knows the effect the springtime closures are going to have on students, these socializations of young students. But he added, we're not going to say children should go home, excuse me, you guys. He added, we're not going to say children should go back to school until we know it is safe for them and teachers. So Trump's roundtable was one of a series of events held at the White House on Tuesday that focus on the issue of reopening schools as state officials and district leaders nationwide scramble up to develop plans for a school year just weeks away for several states. Now, Vice President Mike Pence and Education Secretary Betsy DeVos in a conference call with governors urged states to move forward with a full reopening plan as school districts across the country wait the possibility of hybrid school sessions that include online learning from home at part-time sessions in school that would allow for social distancing, okay? Ms. Betsy DeVos criticized such plans, telling governors that schools must be fully operational, and how that happens is best left to education and community leaders. Now, continue on with this, you guys. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar and Dr. Deborah Birx, the White House coronavirus response coordinator, in a separate formal at the White House, both bake the idea of reopening, saying the closures were taking a toll on the mental health of students, because we know, you guys, mental health is so very important for everyone, including our students, their well-beings, especially during this time. Alex Azar said we must reopen. Everyone's saying we must reopen, which is total BS. But anyways, he says that, and he says we got to get people back to work, back to school, back to healthcare, because we can't stay locked in our homes forever. Okay? It's bad for our physical and mental and emotional health. Us as adults, I'm not adult, but adults, as well as for our kids. Now, Deborah Birx says she believed in the rush to just close things down. Everything was not completely considered in that moment about how we were going to protect our children. Now, Dr. Robert Redfield, who's a director of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, speaking at the same event as Azar and Birx, warned that more work was needed to communicate the risk of the coronavirus to students. Now, he says, I do think we need a strategy. Ha ha ha, yes. I don't think we have hit home there. I don't think the younger group understands how important it is for them to fully participate in the social distancing. Now, the president of the American Academic of Pediatrics, Dr. Sally Gozel, speaking at the White House, said the group supported the push to reopen back, but called on the administrator and Congress to provide increased funding to school districts to ensure that they have sufficient resources to safely open schools back up, including access to immunovirus testing for students and teachers, and so on. Now, education advocacy groups have asked for $200 billion in federal funding to bolster protective supplies and to fill budget gaps caused by the economic shutdown. But so far, only, get this, $13.5 billion for K through 12 education has been appropriated. Now, Goza says that we urge you to ensure the schools receive the resources necessary so that funding does not stand in the way of keeping our children safe or present at school. So this, you guys, right here, this is it. This is all it. This is give y'all the information of what Trump has to say about this, including his wife Melania Trump and so many other people. What they think about this, though, they're all saying we need to reopen schools back up as soon as possible. Like right now, we want students, teachers back. You guys, I don't think it's safe. It's really not. It's safe. It's not. I don't know how. I don't know, you guys. I don't know how I really feel about this, but it's just bizarre. It's mind blown. Especially during this time, because everything's going to be different. Everything's different for this school year. It's not going to be the same. This is totally different. This is a new environment for students, especially for teachers. This is new for them. They are learning new things of how to deal with this, you guys, every single day, how they're supposed to, teach students, which will be, some will be, virtually online, and then possibly some will be physically in the classroom. How's that going to work out? Especially I'm worried about the younger students, the elementary students, because, they like to move around all the time, get up, touch up on one another and all that. And, up all around, because they can't be still. So how's this going to work out? We have to, in the classroom, you have to separate, all desks apart, 6 feet, and they have to, be sitting there in their desks without, they can't move, they can't, all move around all the time, share things, touch up on one another. So I'm just really worried about them, the elementary students. I really am, because to me, you guys, they don't really understand like what's going on. They really don't. To the rest of the older kids, middle high school, they don't really understand what's really going on. They want to, touch up all one another, move around and stuff. You can't do that. So I'm just really concerned and worried about them when school starts back up. I really am. I'm really worried about them. But anyways, you guys, those are my thoughts. Well, a little bit of my thoughts and then the information I provided. So this is probably a short episode. I don't want it to be too long, because to be honest, I'm not feeling that well. I have a headache, so y'all probably heard my voice just a little low, how it used to be, and then my voice kind of a little deep. But yeah, so I'm going to end this now. Make sure you guys follow Future Educators Talk on social media, on Facebook. Type in the searching box, Future Educators Talk. We're on Instagram at Future Educators Talk, and on Twitter at Future Ed Talk. And make sure you guys follow me, Damian Anderson, on my social medias, on Twitter at _Damian Anderson, and on Instagram at Damian Anderson. And you can also follow my good friend Andrew Frett on his social media, on Twitter at Darren_Frett, and on Instagram at it's Andrew Frett. So follow the hosts of Future Educators Talk and follow our podcast. So you guys, I hope you enjoy this episode here, this pre-season, giving y'all a sneak peek of what type of topics that we're going to be discussing here. I know I wasn't really all into, get, all work up with this particular topic as I wanted to, because like I mentioned earlier, I'm not feeling that quite well. I have a headache and I don't feel like yelling. So this is all that you're going to get from me. With Andrew Frett, he may discuss this and he may go really all in. I don't know, but this is today, you guys, of how I'm feeling. So I apologize, not really going all in. But again, like I said in the beginning of the episode, I really like to know what you guys think of this topic. Is it safe to reopen schools back up now? Let me know, parents, teachers, educators, students. Let me know. Let us know, you guys, by using the hashtag Future Educators Talk on our social medias. Please let us know. We will post a question of this. What do you guys think? Okay. So until next time, you guys, I am Damian Anderson, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Remember to wash your hands, wear your mask, 6 feet distant, you guys. Very important. 3 simple rules, okay? 3 simple rules. So until then, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.
Don't just listen to Future Educators Talk on your smartphone. Continue the conversation online. Like us on Facebook. Be a part of the conversation by telling us what you think. Join us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content. And follow along on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our podcast and beyond. It's you who keeps Future Educators Talk going. So like, comment, share, and connect everywhere with us. You get social. Let's listen.